Here's DJ Reader on year 2 with the Lions.
That's big. It's just familiar faces. You see a lot of familiar faces. You see guys that are familiar with the system, so you're not really second-guessing on if they know it, if they don't. You don't have that kind of nervousness. You know what's going on. It's always cool to add new guys, and I think that also helps with adding new guys. When I got a bunch of returning guys and I add somebody new, it's easier for me being somebody like last year. I came in last year. It's a lot easier for me to go in those guys in that room and ask questions because they were here. They know the system. They can help me out when I get lined up, and I can play with confidence. I'm not worried about some guy who just got here with me. I got to ask him a question. Though he may be a vet and know what's going on, we both got to ask each other the question, then both play with uncertainty. When I looked over there last year and Aleem was there, a guy who was already here, I know he knows where to line up. That way I can play my part and I can do my part right. So I think that helps us out a lot there's guys who are self-check now. Like I don't got to look back and think about where Jack's going to be or where such and such is going to be. Like I know they're going to be there because it's my second year in the deal and I've seen them do it a million times before now.
And D-Mac, I wanted to get to this today because I have to call myself out. And with DJ Reader, I was like, because remember, Spenny lost his mind when the Lions got him. Like, went crazy. And he had me going. And when I thought back to DJ Reader this year, I thought, I guess, in retrospect, it was on brand. That was kind of my summation. He's on brand. It's not glorious what he does. But, A, what he says is true, right? Now he knows what's going on and what's going on around him and all that stuff. And B, I sold him short on what he did here. He set a career high in sacks last year. And that's not his game. Like, he's not going to go in and get you 12 sacks and stuff like that. His job is to take up 2 people. If you have one person and 2 people have to account for it, you're winning the battle defensively, right? That's math 101. But I was wrong about DJ Reader and his season last year. And D-Mac, that man, no one's talking about him. That man's going to be a pivotal piece. He really, really is.
The one thing that I heard out of there is continuity. And it sort of gets me thinking back to our Stanley Cup teams and the grind line and stuff like this. What made the grind line so great is that we worked off of one brain wave, right? We all thought at the same time, the same level. So with more time, and DJ Reader is a leader, right? He's a veteran, he's a leader. So it's comfortability to those guys and the guys around him, right? Is that what you're going to see? He's a space eater. So he's supposed to make the guys around him better. We only saw him for how many games with Hutch? And as they got more comfortable, what Hutch was able to do, because what DJ Reader does is he reminds me of what Haloti Ngata and all the greatest DN, the guys in Philly, what they do is they eat 2 blockers to give a linebacker, to give an end, to give somebody more of an opportunity, to give Aleem McNeil, right? The other nose guy. So to me, it's continuity, leadership, everything you preach about. It's like in any sport. We preach this in wrestling too, right? Why do you have to get the basics down? So you don't think. You just react. And everybody's reacting. Then you know the game plan. The game plan can sink in. You're just out there playing football. You don't have to think about, I'm in this. But no, my guy's got this. The guy to the left of you, the guy to the right of you is more important than you are. But he's setting you up for success, right? There's a couple things and we've seen it, where there's confusion. But they know who to lean on. And what do they do? Well, this one guy is going to be in the right position to set everybody else off. I just saw leadership and stuff like he was telling us too, the underlying tone is that they are going to be better defensively, not only because of having Hutch back and more experience from Jack Campbell and stuff like this, but their continuity to the game plan. They're going to go out there and just play football. Right, and he's a huge, huge integral part to it. I think he always has been. And remembering back to what Spenny said, is like he's that leader and that calming influence that you need, right? Like that veteran presence that's been there. That, what did we say? If he can unlock Hutch like he did Hendrickson, or unlock Jack Campbell, right? He makes players around him better. And what I saw there in his press conference is that he's saying, hey guys, I'm comfortable in this system now. So everybody else around me that has been here as long as me or longer will be too.
Real cream of wheat in the chat. The defense has been all I've been thinking about since that playoff loss. It's been all any of us have been thinking about. But also, to remember, that wasn't our defense.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't. That gets lost in the wash sometimes, which I don't understand, but it does. So, for whatever reason.
I was also thinking about 5 turnovers. I think about that a lot, too.
That was a bad day, man.
It's a very bad day.
That was a very bad day. Spenny, DJ Reader.
Yeah.
Your boy.
Yep.
You got me hype again.
Yeah, DJ Reader makes your better players even better. That's what he – and so, obviously, his impact wasn't felt as much when Aiden Hutchinson and Lee McNeil weren't in there because he was just eating all of the blocks and there was nobody to win one-on-ones. But when you saw what this defense looked like in those first 5 weeks of the season when Aiden Hutchinson was playing like the MVP of the National Football League, it was so impactful and pivotal to have guys like DJ Reader on that defensive line because they line Hutch up so far off of that right tackle. Sometimes he was lining up
wild.
Over the slot receiver.
He's like a slot corner.
Because they want to isolate him one-on-one with that right tackle. So you move him out there as far as possible. Then you have DJ Reader to eat the right guard and center. Ali McNeil one-on-one, defensive end on the other side one-on-one. What they're doing is collapsing the pocket and pushing the quarterback to Hutch. So Hutch is waiting for him, and he gets the sack. And it worked like a charm for the first 5 weeks of the year last year. And unfortunately, Hutch went down.
Woodward Sports chat thread. There's always a Vikings fan. Funny Boy Roddy, JJ McCarthy, MVP season. There's always a Vikings fan. Always.
Shout out to my guy, One Bar. He's a real Vikings fan. Like that guy. He's cool. We've had him on the show a couple times.
Yes. But no, it's just in the chat. L translation. DJ Reader's going off this year. L, don't make the same mistake I did though last year with DJ Reader, and I knew better, and I still made the mistake anyway. DJ Reader quote going off, no one will even notice.
Nobody will, yeah.
For real. I'm happy I learned my lesson, Spenny, and I'll call myself out.
Neil, here's the thing with that position: you only notice when they don't do their job.
Yes.
Right? When they do their job, everybody else is getting the glory around them or whatever, but it's just meat and potatoes. It's until they let the run get up the middle or they're not taking 2 blockers. What's the biggest thing on the offense if one of our guys can take the nose tackle and eliminate him?
Yep.
Right? And that can't happen.
Like
so
when
it's a nuanced
yeah.
leveled thing, but he makes everybody else, Spenny, you said the best thing. He's one of those guys that makes everybody around him better.
Mm-hmm. And there's very few centers that can do that. Like just I'm eliminating the nose tackle. Like I like to think of when the Lions played the Eagles a couple of years ago and Frank Ragnow just dog walked Jordan Davis all over the field. It was like insane to watch. It was like this guy Jordan Davis, physical freak, one of the most physically imposing rookies this year, and Frank Ragnow just said, "Welcome to the league, kid." And he was one-on-one taking him anywhere he wanted to go. So only the upper echelon centers, which means like Frank Ragnow, Creed Humphrey, and that's basically it, can do
right.
like one-on-one blocking like that. So having a DJ Reader is extremely pivotal. And like I said, he's going to make Ali McNeil better when he gets back. He's going to make Tyleik Williams see one-on-one matchups in that interior defensive line. Or Levi Onwuzurike. Like, those are the guys that are going to benefit from him. And obviously, Hutchinson's getting one-on-ones on the outside the whole year because you have to put the guard and the center on a DJ Reader or Roy Lopez as the